Yo, what's up, everybody? We here on the Vague Show with your main guy, Michael Elliott. Today I got guests. I got Henry Thorns and Mickey Armin. And these two guys were spectacular in their time in sports in Las Vegas. And a lot of people that around the world that don't know about these guys, here's the opportunity to get a chance to meet them and see everything and listen to all the things that they've done throughout their career. I'm gonna bring both of them on at the same time, and you got Henry down in the bottom corner with the yeah, there you go, yeah. And we got Mickey on down there too. So sports has been one of our things. I've loved sports all my life, and I played, and I had a lot of fun playing sports. I watched these guys as I was coming up. So, what's up, Mickey and Hen Hen?
What's going on, Mike?
Man, let's hear
What's
some of
up,
the
nigga?
yeah yeah. Let's hear some of those
Hey,
magnificent stories.
hey, hey, Mike.
Yeah.
When you bring on two studs on like me and Mickey, you don't play no soft music, man. You know what I'm saying? You bring us on some real hard music. You know what
Well,
I'm
see,
saying? We playing basketball. We
right.
playing basketball. You bring us on with some hurt or bad or something. Or
Well,
all you can see is my dust.
you know
Cause
what,
that's what
Henry.
kind of athletes we was.
So Henry, what it is, we jumped and just did this on the whim, and I ain't had the music prepared for us. So I understand that we should have had heard them bad. We're playing bass. I love
Yeah,
that. You know,
cause that was our
hut
time
hut hut.
zone.
Yeah. But so the music wasn't really that soft, but it was a good song.
Well, I could dig it. What's up, Mickey? Are you guys still there?
Yeah, we here. Mickey, can you hear
Oh,
Henry?
okay.
Mickey.
Everybody went on for a minute.
Well, I put you on by yourself. I thought you was finna give us the show.
There was a show. It's a show with me, you, and Mickey. It ain't
Right,
no
but I
I
mean,
and King.
ain't no iron team, but still we got individuals that got individual stats and individual talents, you know. Mickey, can you
Yeah.
hear me? No, Mickey went out again.
Oh, okay. Okay. You got what you want. What's happening with you, Mike? What's
Man,
happening?
let's go ahead and do it, man. Let me hear a little something about that Clark High School out there on that basketball court. I want to hear a little
Well,
bit about that.
well, you know, life started before Clark High School.
No, absolutely it did. We could
Yeah.
always get
Life
back to that, but I just want to hear. I want to hear something about that Clark High School basketball.
basketball.
Yeah.
Actually, we was tough. Me, Cadillac, JJ. Tony Shaw. We had a squad. You know,
So
uh,
was you able to dunk? That's been the big question. Everybody been
I'm,
saying
I'm,
Hen Hen could dunk, Hen Hen could dunk, Hen Hen could dunk. Is that true story?
I'm the first one they ever saw do a 360. I'm
Say that
probably the
one more
first
time.
one they ever. I'm probably the first one they ever seen do a 360.
On the
I'm
10 foot
probably the
rim.
first one to do a windmill.
On the 10
You
foot
know what I'm
rim.
saying? I was dunking before Michael Jordan was dunking at Matt Kelly.
At Matt Kelly.
That's what we, yeah, that's what we started on the outside courts of Matt Kelly. Then we brought the portable goals out there, jacked it up to 10 feet in the back, and we put on the slam dunk contest. Everybody was out there talking, oh. They wasn't dunking. So I told them you need to ask CJ Watson. I told them they got to put some funk in it. So I had to show them how to do it. I won my own slam dunk contest.
So
you
how did
know,
you manage to do that?
because they wasn't dunking. They didn't know nothing about no 360, no windmill, no rocking the cradle. They
They
didn't
ain't know
know
nothing
nothing
about it.
about. No, no. You know, I couldn't
So hold on,
really do.
let's get this understood. Have you ever dunked in the game?
I never dunked in the game. I dunked in practice.
Okay.
Never
And what's
dunked in
your
the game.
just for the
I,
people that's watching, what's your
I
height?
dunked. I 5'5". I dunked at the basic game, but I couldn't call that a dunk.
Maybe it was a dunk and wasn't a slam.
'Cause that's what JJ said. JJ said, "Man, you used the rim. You know how you push it off the rim, man.
Right.
You used the rim to slam. But hey, it was a slam. It was a
So
slam.
what was one of the most funnest games you had back then, and who you played against, and why it was fun?
I mean, you gotta remember, I played at Matt Kelly. That was the funnest. You see, you brought me up to Park High School. That was high school. That was all right, but high school was kind of different. When you go into high school and playing basketball, you got to deal with the booster kids. You got to deal with kids ain't that tough, but their parents is the booster. So automatic, they're gonna get
That's been
some
going on
playing time.
forever.
Yeah. So you really don't get a chance to show your real talent in high school. They never really saw my real talent in high school. You know, to me, you never really saw my real talent. I was 10 times tougher than I showed you in football. I was probably 20 times tougher than what I showed you in basketball. I'm a 6-time state champion in the long jump from the 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. I'm state champion. Not
In
not
long jump.
no, yes indeed. So imagine if I'm long jumping state champion like that. Imagine how high I can jump. Now I'm gonna give you a ticket. I can jump about this much over the rim, but I couldn't hold the ball. See, I couldn't hold the ball, but I could jump this much over the rim. See, hey man, I never bragged on myself. I let everybody else brag, but I I was tough. There was a lot of peoples out there tough. Lee Jimerson was tough. Eric Jordan was tough. Them was good football players.
So are those some people you played against?
Yeah, these guys, June Wiley, these are some tough guys also. But one thing in football, when they practice on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, they getting ready for Henry Thorns.
Is that right?
Yeah, they practicing for Henry Thorns.
So they put the game plan together
Oh yeah. They
strictly
game
for
plan
you.
was their game plan was how to stop Henry Thorns on offense and how to block Henry Thorns on defense. Cause I
So
wasn't no
give me one. Give me one of the moments, man, that the coach said, "Hey, we need this to happen," and you went right in there and made it happen. Or
I'm
the
gonna give
team needed something to happen, and you made it happen.
I'm gonna give you the Chaparral game.
Okay.
Chaparral. Chaparral. We played Chaparral my junior year. Chaparral was beating us 20-0 at halftime. 20-0 at Western High School. We went in the locker room, coach slobbed all from the mouth, hollered, hit locker rooms and cried and all that, you know. And I just sit there and looked at him like, you
Do you
play the
remember who the
right
coach
people,
was?
Coach Whitehead. I said, if you play the right peoples, we can beat them. Who's the right people? Give me the ball. Give me the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, make a long story short, we beat them 21-20. They never got past the 50-yard line the whole second half. You can look that up, 1978. You can look that up, buddy. But
Hey,
Mike,
listen, this show,
I was,
baby.
I wasn't the kind of cat that brag, that really go around bragging on myself because I like to find the ones who was bragging on themselves, and I used to like to go get them. You know
Okay,
what I'm saying? Because once you beat the tough guy, you become the tough guy.
that's
See,
true.
But if you start running your mouth, you're gonna have everybody coming at you. They didn't want none of this. Here today, they still don't want none of this. This is who I was. I was an athlete. I was a stud. I was one of the best you ever seen in your life.
So what
Straight
made you?
up.
How'd you get that way?
Well, growing up with 7 brothers and 1 sister, and your sister,
So your
at
oldest brother pretty much was
no, my
the
my older brother
the
is
puppet
basically
master.
no, my older brother was basically from Louisiana, St. Joseph, Louisiana. He more like he used to
Country
come,
boy.
yeah, but he didn't play. He wasn't an athlete, but he didn't play. You couldn't use the N word around him. You couldn't use the boy word around him. You couldn't use nothing but say it loud. I'm black and proud around my
Right.
brother. Then my brother Mike made rest in peace. He wasn't a great athlete, but he had the biggest heart in the world. And so he go out and play ball. He throw the ball to us. We racing down the street with 7 brothers and 1 sister. Our sister was our backbone. Our sister didn't take no mess. Everybody I was scared of, my sister whooped them.
And where y'all was
Everybody
living
chased
at?
the Jets, forward looks. I lived in every part of the West Side it was. Every part of the West Side, from Del Monaco, Wrigley Stakes, Valley. No, I didn't live in Valley View. My grandmama lived in Valley View, but the whole West Side, we lived in it. And that's why I could never understand how people can gang bang back in the day, because we all came from the same place. And I never chose to gang banging. All I thought about was busting up gang bangers. Stop the gang banging, because we had bigger prizes to fry at them days. Right? Then I took my trip on to UNLV. UNLV gave me a full ride scholarship for football.
At
I
what
actually
position?
wanted they signed me as a wide receiver, but they had so many great wide receivers. They said, Hank, if you ever want to play, man, we're gonna have to switch you to defense. And I said, perfect. I only got scored on 1 time, and you wouldn't believe who scored on me.
Who was it? Jerry Rice.
McMahon. McMahon.
Who? McMahon?
McMahon. Yeah, he threw the pass, 17 yards out and up. But I was a
Okay.
freshman. That was my very first freshman scrimmage game against BYU. After that, ain't nobody never caught a pass on me in college.
Well, you got to.
And when I
That's a lot
hit
of
him,
respect because McMahon won a Super Bowl.
that's hey, Joe 747 Adams. I
Absolutely.
played against Roman Gabriel and them son. I done played against a lot of good athletes that remember this 5'5" stick of dynamite. But
So-
but but Mike, my journey to UNLV was an experience, because I met a lot of people from Hawaii. I met a lot of people from California. I met a lot of people from Kansas. And it was one big old main screen of athletes, and they all was tough. But from California, they was athletes and game bangers. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But what was so good about them? They didn't bring no game banging to Las Vegas. They left that at home. They became some of the best athletes I ever seen. A guy named Keith Slack was one of my great friends. May he rest in peace. Lloyd Henderson, one of my great friends. May he rest in peace. Them is two of Avion Riggs. He's alive. Went from Clark High School with me. I'm naming the freshmen Charles Kane, because we freshmen, when we stepped in at UNLV, we didn't play. We didn't play. And
So they,
believe it or
they
not,
they took a couple of y'all over there.
yeah, yeah. Believe it or not, I ran 4.240. See, I'm 4.240.
I could.
ain't
I
too
mean,
many, ain't too many can do that.
I can
See,
see that.
I was fast, I was quick. but they'll catch me. But they're from 0 to 60, they couldn't catch me. But from 0 to 100, they can catch me.
You get caught, huh?
Yeah, you know, yeah, you
Man, I
know,
used to come watch you play.
yeah. We had some great times, even at Doolittle. After I got out of college, I started the Dog Catcher Youth Foundation. First I started a adult team with me because growing up at Doolittle, you had to be a great athlete to play, or you had to wait your turn. So if we got up there at 9 o'clock, we didn't get on the court till about 3. You know what I'm saying?
I remember those days at Doolittle.
Yeah, Doolittle has some awesome athletes. You know what I'm saying? You know, um, well, anyway, when
Doolittle
we
breeded some
started,
of the best. I remember back in the days, you would hear, you can't make it to the pros if you can't play at Doolittle.
oh man, I mean, but if you think about it, Las Vegas was home of the short people. People that plays in Las Vegas, the center, when they go to college, they the shooting guard. So
Right.
imagine our center out here in Vegas as a shooting guard in college. So you had to be pretty tall or pretty good to play sports in college.
Right.
And at the same time, Doolittle had a bunch of guards, and I think they was the best guards in the nation. Best guards in the world.
What about
Brian,
Sam Smith?
bro, bro,
And then there was Sam Banks. Uh,
Sam
name some of
Banks
those
was
guys.
more of a power forward, but Sam Smith, Sam Smith was an athlete. Willie Smith was a stud. You got Mike Yates, the Mad Bomber. You just name it. You could go on and on and on. Everybody that Doolittle didn't play. You had Bobby Joe Jacobs up there. You had Foots and Fat Riley up there. You had Frank Jefferson. Frank Jefferson was the tallest, him and Skeeter Jackson. You might get 2 6'9" out of the whole bunch. And that was Frank Jefferson and Skeeter Jackson. Even your daddy, Mike, even little Speedy got out there and played back in the days. And he became a little referee. Speedy was a little point guard.
Yeah,
Him
I
and
used to
my
go and
uncle.
watch the games.
You
I
know,
was
I watched all these guys. My uncle Dickie. I watched them all. So imagine me watching these guys from 7 years old to high school, and they was all studs. So I had to pick it up. I picked up a lot from a lot of people. You know, and like I say, we was dog catchers. We made it to the championship. Let me give you this story. When I started the dog catchers, the adults in '81, we went 0-10 the first 10 games, right?
right.
So our motto was they was running around there, out, 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 out. They was barking. And so Willie Smith came from college. He went to Missouri. He came from college. And make a long story short, we won 10 in a row. So we was 10-10. I had Danny Lyles, I had Calvin Richmond, Freddie Williams, Lorenzo Jacobs, Chris Simon, Grant Johnson, big white boy Bill from Votech. Bill stood about 7'1". Ken Williams, Pierre Wells, who else out there? Well, that's who we had. And them was the very first dog catchers.
Is that right?
Them was the very first dog catchers.
Now you said Chris Simon.
Yeah, big head Chris Simon, Chaparral.
Absolutely.
He was a senior in high school. Him and Grant Johnson. Yeah, I took
Yeah, I used
them
to see
to.
Chris out there on the court a little bit.
Yeah, Chris was a Moses Malone.
So that was in '83.
Well, nah, I think that came a little later. I think that would, I don't know exactly. No, that came later because Chris way younger than that. Because Dog Catchers, the young team started with Don Don and Fufu and Tony Powell. That was 82. So now that was further on down the road. But anyway, you know, we played and we was 10-10. So we got in the playoff and we played Guy Porter and them and David Holloway and them. You know, Ricky Henry and them, Bruce Gator and them, right? Look, Mike, they was beating us by 30 points at halftime. This the Final Four. And they was beating us because Willie Smith left.
By
See what
30
I'm saying?
points.
They was beating us by 30 points at halftime. Willie Smith left. Mike, we caught him at 99-99. We caught him at 99-99. Danny Lyles stole the ball.
I remember Danny Lyles with UNLV, didn't he?
No, well, he went to Chaparral.
Didn't he wind up going to playing for UNLV for a minute, but then he got kicked out and all that went crazy?
I know he went to college in California.
He had the big hands, right?
Yeah.
They
Danny
used to call him
Lyles.
hands.
That's right. That's right. He stole the ball at 99-99, right? Mr. Evans caught 5. Post foul. It was a post foul, right? So look, Daniel Lyles, you know, first thing he do is this. Snapped his finger. Evans called a technical on him. 10 seconds left in the whole game. So you know Evans was working, right? You know Evans was working.
Right.
But watch this, like, so they get 2 shots for the technical, right?
Right.
Miss both of them. They take the ball on the sideline. They throw it in. Danny Lyles steals it and lays it up. We win the game 101-99.
You and Danny on the same team.
Oh yeah. Oh, you gotta remember, Dude has studs. Our team was probably the weakest team. Remember, I told you we was 0-10.
Right.
We played against some studs. But we end up going in the championship game. And the next day we played Jimmy Westside Market. And you know when the boy came on the court, they got mad because we called him and beat him by 30. Then he stole.
Wait, hold on. Back it up. Who came on the court?
Guy Porter. He came on the court in front of everybody because we beat him, you know. But
What was Guy trying to? What he was putting the bluff down? What he was doing?
It wasn't no bluff. You don't hit nobody with no bluff. It was the real deal.
Who he hit?
He hit me. He came up. But remember I told you we played them the day before.
Right.
And they was beat by 30.
Right.
And when we called them and beat them, remember how they was barking at us? I started barking at them.
Right.
They got mad. The next day we played the championship. You know, like I said, I felt like I was set up. Everybody knew what was going to happen. We came in the game and we was putting it on them. Next day, no timeout was called and man walked on the court and hit me.
So, you know Guy Porter played a dude one-on-one down at Doolittle. So I guess there was a foul call. The dude grabbed the ball and he started walking towards the half court. By the time he turned around with the ball, you know, like he taking the ball out, Guy right behind him and hits him right in the mouth. I don't know if he broke his jaw or what, but you know,
They was known for that sneaky.
Herbert Gerson.
They was known for sneaky. But let me tell you, after he hit me, he didn't hit nobody else. He never hit nobody else.
That was the end of that.
You know, like I said, I never bragged, but I'm still 105-0. You know what I'm saying? The only time I lost was in the house. But the funny part is when he hit me, and they talking about jumping on me out there, you know, when I come out the gym, because they made me stay in the gym. But when I came out the gym,
it used to get thick like that.
Yeah, but when I came out the gym, remember Doolittle used to have a fence out there.
Right.
It was brothers land laid out on the whole fence. We with you, Hank. We with you. We tired of them boop, 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 breaking our jaws, pulling sneakies on us. We tired of them. They had a whole family and partners full of people that, jumped on people that do little. And once they found somebody that to fight them back, it built their confidence and they fought back after that.
I
You know,
remember that.
just giving you a little history.
No, yeah, well, that's a good story.
Yeah, just giving you a little history. And we end up losing the championship game to Jimmy's West Side Market. Give a
Was
shout out
Jimmy
to
on the
Jimmy.
team?
Yeah,
Jimmy had some
yeah.
game?
Yeah, Jimmy got everybody played that Doolittle had game.
So where would you rank Jimmy amongst the Banks brothers?
Oh shit. Jimmy got big brothers don't as athletes. Jimmy wasn't an athlete. Jimmy was a businessman. So Jimmy might be last in his family as athlete.
He had some
he
tough ones.
might he might be last in his family as an athlete. Because his
Yeah, he
big
had.
brothers wasn't no joke. Then his little brother was Billy. Billy
Billy
was
was
tough.
tough.
Kermit Williams, swimming. We had a swim team and diving team at Doolittle wasn't no joke. I still hold the record, and it will never be broken because they don't have a high dive no more. You know,
So it's
I
over
was
with.
the first brother. I was the first brother ever to do a 3.5 on the high dive at Doolittle. It ain't
3
never
flips and a
been done.
half.
3 flips and a half. 3 flips and a half on the high dive. But we had guys like Billy Ray. We call him the Hulk. Billy Ray, Dada. We had guys would get on the diving board, and you would see them bouncing on the diving board. They going higher than your house,
Mm.
bouncing higher than your house on the diving board. You know, but rest they soul. Them was some
Hey, do
good.
you remember the dude they used to call Black Joe?
I know Black Joe
He used
from
to do the
Louisiana.
flips and he was swimming and all that.
Yeah, I know Black Joe.
He was a hell of a
He
swimmer.
couldn't compete. He couldn't compete with us.
Well, I'm gonna tell you who was better than all y'all, and you better not even think about trying to say you was better than Terry Craner.
Terry Craner was one of the best divers you ever seen in your
There
life.
you go. That's
He,
real.
he put the twist, but he couldn't do a 3.5. See, he couldn't do a 3.5, but that low dive with that Olympic flipping and all that, Terry Craner was tough. But guess who else was tough when it came down to that?
Who's
Was
that?
Kermit Williams, Bobo,
I
Tony
remember
Williams.
Kermit Williams.
Yeah, Kermit, Bobo. Bobo used to do that Olympic diving and twisting and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Kermit
He was
had
great.
that. Yeah, Kermit used to be. Yeah.
Yeah, he did it, but he couldn't do a 3.5. See,
Yeah, I don't know. Nobody did a 3.5. You the only
but
person
Henry
ever told me.
But see, that double gainer, thank you.
So look,
Man.
we had Mickey on, and Mickey, I think he had some things that he was doing, but it didn't happen like that, or the system was messing up or something like that. But how tough was Mickey?
Mickey Allman was tough as hell. Mickey Allman came out there projects also. Mickey had 3-4 brothers older than him that was tough. And had a little young brother that was tough also.
Do you have any memorable moments like Mickey on the basketball court?
Well, Mickey went to Western, played against Mickey, him and Hicks. They had a squad. Mickey was a straight shooter. Mickey gonna shoot good. Mickey gonna shoot. When at the end of the game, you're gonna throw Mickey a towel and say, you might be surprised he don't shoot the towel. But Mickey was a shooter. Here today, Mickey's still a shooter. You
That's
throw
right.
that ball to Mickey, don't think you're gonna get no assist. You know, but he was
Right.
tough. He was a hell of a football player too, though. See, Mickey, if I think right, Mickey might have a state championship in football. But for some
Okay.
reason, after that, he gave up football. I don't know why, you know. But
He was
he
in
was
love with
tough in
basketball.
football. He was a hell of a basketball player,
When you, hey, look,
you know.
when you're a pretty guy, you would choose basketball over football because you got to put the helmet on the gear. Basketball, you showing your face, you know, you're out there. So that's kind of like,
So you think, Pretty Boy, he chose basketball so he can hit his little Jerry curls.
yeah,
And,
he had his Jerry curl, yeah.
hey, but let me tell you, remember Gerald Riggs?
I remember Gerald Riggs, Bonanza High School, big old
Bonanza
thighs.
High, big bad. Gerald Riggs, can't take that from him.
So they
But
said
you know,
Gerald Riggs knocked you out. They said y'all went head up and he knocked you out.
yeah, he did. He really did. And when he woke up, he apologized. You know what I'm saying? He apologized. But he was knocking that dirt off him in that long jump pit because I knocked him so far from the football field to the long jump pit. That's how
No,
hard
no. Tell us what happened. Let me hear what happened. Let me hear play by
No,
play.
no, Gerald Riggs is a bad dude. I mean,
Well, I know he
you
will.
know, but like I say, I played defense too. And from the
So,
knees on down, you mind.
hey, but what happened?
I mean, he got the ball, he swooped that in, he turned around that corner, he's down that sideline, and I popped him.
So
And I
Gerald
knocked
used
him
to
to the
average how many
floor.
yards a game?
Gerald Riggs gonna get 100.
He gonna get 100
He
every
gonna
game.
get 100. I tell you this, he got the less on us, but he carried the ball like 30 some times. I carried the ball 5 times and scored twice. See, that's what I've been saying. Give me the ball. See,
You know what to do with it.
before we be before politics played a role in school with these um, kids, fathers donating money, booster club donating money to the team. See, I averaged almost 5 touchdowns a game. See, see.
I feel
And
you.
when I got into high school with these booster kids, I had to share that. The most I carried the ball was probably 7 times and scored at least 2 or 3 out of that. Real talk.
I know those be like, you know, you got the skill, you better than this dude, but the coach knows somebody. The coach been, uh, for example, let's just say a parent is talking to the coach, and everything the parent is telling this coach, he talking about how he gonna buy him a new car, or he's gonna put some cash in his pocket, and also he's gonna pay for the picnics. He's gonna pay for the out of town trips. He's gonna pay for the vans to drive the cars. I'm just saying you got guys that do that, and then
That's
that's how the
yeah,
kids get bumped. That's really good
that's right.
because the coach getting his feelings and get to thinking like, well, this guy gave me their money, I accepted it, or he did something for the team. I got to show him some kind of love, which they're not thinking about winning. Now it's all about politics, and that
But you
happens.
know what, Mike? But you know what, Mike? You don't understand that until you get out of school. And when you get out of
No, I
school and look
understood it in school. I
when
understood it
what's
because I'm gonna tell you something. When I was in the 10th grade, I played for Bonanza High School. My last game for Bonanza High School was against Valley High School. We played against Valley High School, and so the story kind of go. One of the dudes from my neighborhood, he was telling me how he talked to the coach, and so I was kind of like, damn man, if my coach get to tripping like that, I'm gonna talk to him like that too. That's how I was feeling. So we played against Valley. The coach took me out of the game, and then he wanted to bring me back in the fourth quarter, like I'm supposed to just make us come back. Like,
you're a
here, go do
hero.
it. Right? He wanted me
That's
to be the
right.
hero.
There
So
you
I get
go.
out there, do what I could do and all that. But at the end of the game, I took the uniform and I gave it to the coach and I say, hey man, which this ain't something cool for nobody to say. So I don't want anybody to think that this was great to say because I regret saying it, but I'm gonna just say what happened. I told the coach, you can take this uniform and wipe your ass with it because you're a shitty motherfucker. I was in the 10th grade at the time. I had my own car. I drive to the games and all of that. So I'm pissed off with the coach the way he tried to play me due to another kid that parent was boosting and things like that. So um, that was
Well,
my last. Yeah.
one thing about it, at least you caught it in the 10th grade. I caught it in the 10th grade, but I caught something different in the 10th grade. I caught why my friends in the 11th and 12th, why my friends in the 12th grade didn't graduate. Then when I was in the 11th grade, I was wondering why my friends in the 12th grade didn't graduate. Now I'm in the 12th grade. I done seen all that. I said, I'm taking all my friends with me. So I made them play football. If they got cut in basketball, they ran track. You know, if you eligible doing track, you should be able to graduate, right? So I made all my friends run track. They couldn't run or whatever. And that year there, we had the most black people graduated from Clark High School in 1979 than in a long time, you know. Because I saw how they was using our friends, Nap them and Freddie them, using them as athletes, and after the sports was over, they kicking them out of school. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't nothing but a pawn in their little game. We not nothing but a little pawn in their little game. I realized how racist my high school coaches was.
Hold on 1 second,
And
Hank. We're gonna come right back to the racist coaches in high school. We're gonna take a small little break right now, and we're gonna come right back. So give us a little bit, you know.
Yo, it's the vague, where the stories collide. Las Vegas roots, from the ground to the sky. Echoes in the night, like a ringtone you miss. Real talk, real vibes, this is where it exists. Concrete jungle, neon veins that hump. From the strip to the cracks, where the real ones come. Dust storms of dreams, every word a gem. We the pulse of the city, ain't no faking them. Grounded and gritty, yeah, we reaching for stars. Every convo a mirror reflecting who we are. The vague ringtone, show the void, tune in now. Let the story engage, from the ground to the sky, everything in between. This is real, this is raw, this is more than a scene. So lean in close, let the wisdom ring the vague, where the realest voices sing. Podcast waves, Las Vegas in its tone. You tune to the vibe, welcome home. Whoa.
Yo, we back again, talking about these racist coaches that in our time of sports history, where we have a racist coach, a racist parent, or somebody like that. And everybody know it's out there. You could try to hide it, try to stay away from it, but it is out there and it's been out there. We're gonna come right back with my man Hen Hen, and Hen Hen gonna finish off what he was saying about the racist coach.
hey, you back?
Yeah, we back.
Okay, okay.
Make sure y'all click
Yeah,
subscribe, hit like and share right now, and also share this. Go ahead, Hank.
you know, I was saying when I went to Matt Kelly, you know, I went to Matt Kelly in the kindergarten. I went to Madison in the second grade. I went to Booker in the first grade. And I went back to Matt Kelly in the third grade. Then they shipped me to Vegas Verde in the third grade. Then they shipped me back to Matt Kelly in the third grade. And in the fourth and fifth grade, I went to Matt Kelly. We had sports teams and we had after school programs. We had feeding programs. We had everything that you possibly want at Matt Kelly and Madison and Kent Carmel, Booker, Joe Mackey. You know, these schools right here had great programs. But you know, they started busing my sixth grade year. So the first year that we integrated and bust the white kids to Las Vegas to the west side, it was my year. So imagine this. I went from knowing everybody at the school name to start calling people black, boy, the N-word, all because busing. We got the white kids that came over to Matt Kelly. Some of them was calling us the N-word. Some of us was calling us out our name, and they was protected by their teachers. You know, the teachers protected them very well, but didn't matter, you know. We never got suspended at this time. We never got SWATs and stuff back then because we never was in trouble from the kindergarten to the 5th grade. But coming from that 6th grade, it was a great thing and it was a terrible thing. The great thing is I did get to meet a lot of different white peoples and some of them was very nice. The bad thing is we lost everything in our community. We lost stores, we lost recreation centers, we lost everything, casinos, you know, we had everything in our own neighborhood. And back then, we was considered Pan-African Americans. We knew George Washington wasn't the first president. And we knew the first president was the black guy. We knew all the black history was. But then when I got in the 6th grade, everything went away. They changed the books, the encyclopedia books on us. I started talking like, gosh dang it. Hi, what's happening, guy? 4 out. Freak out, man. You know, the language
like
started
that,
changing. You know what I'm saying? Gosh, gee whiz. You know, and I'm like, where all this coming from? One day my partner, he said, hey, man, you talk like a white boy. I said, what? I said, man, don't never tell me I talk like a white boy again. But I went home that day and I heard myself talk. And I was talking proper. Couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, man. But from that 6th grade, we never had sports teams. We never had nothing. You know, all I ran into was racist teachers. You know, back in the day, I had all black teachers, except maybe one white teacher, Mr. Jenkins. But before that, there was all black teachers. So imagine I felt like this. I'm the coldest man in the world, and I just got dipped in the hottest water in the world.
Mm.
That's how it messed us up. You know, it messed us up.
So let me ask you this. When you played for UNLV, what was the most incredible thing you did on the field?
Took the ball out of Roman Gabriel's son. His son was a quarterback for New Mexico. So he was scrambling. So as he scrambled, I went to hit him, and I took the ball from him and started running the other way. But this the cold part. Now, this the cold part. Right before that play, the kicker came to me because he kicked out his shoe. He said, Hank, let me use your shoe because we had the same. And I let him use my shoe. And they called me in the game. So imagine I went out there with a kicker shoe. And when I took the ball and I started running the opposite way, the lineman caught me. So I went to the sideline, took off the shoe. My feet was big.
Wow.
If I didn't have that kicker shoe, he would have never caught me.
So we still live, Hank. But no, listen. We're going to close the show out, man, and we're going to close the show out and come back with y'all with a part 2. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yo, it's the vague, where the stories collide. Las Vegas roots, from the ground to the sky. Echoes in the night, like a ringtone you miss. Real talk, real vibes, this is where it exists. Concrete jungle, neon veins that hump. From the strip to the cracks where the real ones come.
Yeah.
Dust storms of dreams, every word a gem. We the pulse of the city, ain't no faking them. Grounded and gritty, yeah, we reaching for stars. Every convo a mirror reflecting who we are. The vague ringtone, show the vibe, tune in now. Let the story engage, from the ground to the sky, everything in between. This is real, this is raw, this is more than a scene. So lean in close, let the wisdom ring the vague. where the realest voices sing, poetry waves, Las Vegas in its tone. You tune to the vibe, welcome home. Whoa.